This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our supreme and master speakers, Circa Barrakiel, Remy Asalia, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Arcadia Lunashine, Dramavian, Alex Franco AV, Nina Grimstarter, Casey Schaefer, Daimos, Lily Black, Hans Grenade, Sapa Chakwatol, Faris Chantoru, Cletus Oreo, Quick Levin, Luke Leonatrell, Ceres, Icy Lee, Lyria Rain, Pamela Isley, Umbral Wind, Naive Arino, Celeste Razgris, Elenriel Maximus, Edwin, Bob CC, Fabs and Voidworm, Raimi Maverick, Codred No, Mira Miri, Winebow Brood, Bay Barbalay, Kaiser Regina, Usora Akari, AJ Brainswordson, Suno Shikano, Chesha Saltiri, Gideon Ura, Buster Gearhold, Azuta Starbreeze, Camille Grineau, and Nat Clay. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 231. I'm Lukiel Bravestone, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston and Rollo Des. Welcome. It is January 30th, 2021. It is the week before the expansion announcement. This is like the last... This is the last episode of Speakers of Eidolon that's purely Shadowbringers. So, there you go. That's, think about it. This is history.
Shadowbringers era coming to an end.
Well, yeah, we obviously, no one has said that it's the expansion announcement, but it is the expansion announcement. Right. Today's main topics, we have an interview with Yoshi-P. Well, we don't. It's a Gamer Escape interview. We'll discuss it today. And the patch 5.45 website has been updated with some additional stuff for the upcoming patch. That's, again, patch 5.45. We'll read Mogmail. Remember to send Mogmail if you can at speakersxiv.com/Mogmail. Website's not doing too well still, so just make sure before you send that you copy your Mogmail into like a notepad document or something, just in case it's unable to send the first time. I don't know what to do. Our host is like denying that there's something wrong, so I don't know what to do. So I'll probably just switch host now. All right, stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. At least that one works. That's on our Discord. And that's. Oh yes, channel updates. I have something I need to show. I just want to... Cool. I forgot to turn that off. Thank you.
Always a nice reminder.
What is this?
Are you giving us... Okay.
Yeah. Chronicles of a Realm it's been all I've done the last week. Still not ready. I don't think anyone's surprised. But Core is much bigger than I thought. And if you watched last episode, I said Chronicles of a Realm Sundered Skies. If you watch the first episode of Core, you know that that's like the first quest for Gridania, and the first episode of Core is always 2 episodes because the first one is so short. I wasn't aware of that at the time when I announced it because I'd already like finished most of the first part, and then I'm like, wait, this is like 10 minutes. Where's the rest of this quest? Oh. So it's coming. I'm hope it'll be out probably in a couple of days. But I'm losing my mind over core.
I hope it's done before the announcement because I feel like you're going to be very busy after that.
Oh yes, oh God, oh please, yes, I will. Well, the announcement is on Friday, so I'll definitely be done by then. All right. That's that for channel updates. Let's talk about what we've done in 14 this week. Georgi.
I finished leveling Ninja. Was that the last one I was working on?
Wait,
I
hold
think
on.
so.
Hold on. Before we go into this, did we mention? We should probably mention one last time that we'll be covering the event that's coming up, starting with Friday Hangout, and then it'll just keep going until all of it is done. So we'll do normal Friday Hangout, and then we'll cover the event. We said this last week, but just refresher. And I think the whole thing will be up on YouTube at some point as well, probably.
The whole stream, or just the
No,
coverage
not
of...
Friday Hangout. Like the coverage.
Okay.
We'll see. But yeah. Okay, there you go. Go on, Georgi. Sorry.
Yes, I think I finished... I think it was Ninja. I'm pretty sure it was... Yeah, it has to be Ninja. I finished leveling Ninja. It's all right. It's my second favorite of the 3 melee DPS that I've finished leveling, ahead of Samurai and behind Monk. And then I have started leveling Dragoon, which will probably be my favorite or my second favorite. I enjoy Dragoon more than Monk, but God, I hate it when it's synced down to level 50 or 60. It is not fun.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played the dragon. Really sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Rollo.
This week I actually did not play that much. I was busy working on my car.
How dare you? How fucking
But-
dare you?
But this weekend I am prepping. I got my title for the Saint thing.
Yes.
It scared me because I logged in and I saw you have a message from a GM, and I'm like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah.
I'm surprised none of us told you that that's how it happens.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just like, oh fuck, who reported me?
Yeah. It's your last day in 14. It's bad incoming.
Yeah, I also got a Bard from level 69 to 70. I left it at 69, like since Stormblood for fun. I was like, I'm just never gonna get this to level 70. I'm gonna stop at 69 as a joke. Well, that joke has come to an end.
Oh.
I got it to 70, and now I'm gonna spend this weekend in Bosja.
Bosja.
Just doing some Bosja cleanup on my main, because I'm mostly already caught up on my alt, because I did it so much on there that I should be fine. I mean, I might have to farm some actions, I guess, what the content is. But aside from that, I'm just going to be prepping for a new Bosja.
Okay.
Are you rank 15?
No, that's one thing I'm going to.
Yeah, that's starting to worry me a little. I think I might want to go into Bosja.
I think there's going to be an uptick in people doing it, because it's weak.
Yeah, and if it has a rank 15 requirement, then I am fucked. So yeah, there's that. Okay, I haven't done anything that's worth talking about. It's just been usual shit. Tomes.
You've been sending out Cher and Mr. Bean and Teddy.
They bring back
one of them brought
good stuff.
You got a plum parasol, didn't you?
Got a plum Cher gave me a plum parasol. A Cher, the submarine. Yeah, I got a meerkat the other day, but they're not really worth anything. But
really,
it got it. Yeah, it was like 50k on the market board or something.
Oh.
More valuable than I would think, but I'll probably just buy one.
Yeah. Right. That's what we've done in 14 this week. It's the calm before the storm. Both the patch and an expansion announcement this week.
Oh, there's so much.
Very exciting. Let's jump into recent events. We'll start with our favorite topic, Mog Station. There's some
Mog Station intro one day.
Excuse me.
What?
Sorry, what?
Sorry. What did you say, Rollo? There's a lot happening.
Have a little Mog Station like intro one day. Like a little Moogle comes out.
No.
Like,
I refuse to acknowledge that we've become
we
like
do
a
it
fucking...
so often. There might as well be a segment.
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Also, it is the Final Fantasy XIV online store.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whatever.
The new Eastern Lord Errant and Eastern Lady Errant outfits will become available on the Final Fantasy XIV online store starting Tuesday, January 26th. So obviously out now. It's like K-pop. That's what I like to call it. Yeah, the chess piece is K-pop. Come on now.
Wait.
Ignore the hat, because the hat's...
I don't see that
like a pilgrim.
I don't see it with the woman's outfit. I see it more with the man's outfit.
Well, I only look at... Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Right.
Aren't these like
Where's the female out? Oh, it's at the bottom. Yeah, the female is not. That's got a weird pilgrim hat. That's all I know about that one.
That's Korean culture. How dare you?
That is Korean culture. I like that they show Viera and Hrothgar and explicitly make it clear these hats aren't for you.
Again,
yeah.
Just second-class citizens.
Yeah. They are there if you want them. So go get them.
Yeah, I know people have been wanting this one for a while. This one in the
Really?
Letterman. Yeah, I've seen some for this one and the Letterman too, or the tiger.
Oh yeah, the Letterman jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, that's cool if you want to look like that. Next, All Worlds Maintenance, February 1st. In order to implement patch 5.45, surprise, we'll be performing maintenance on all worlds, blah, blah, blah. 5.41 is coming, and that... We should have done Ishgard Restoration before, because we would have segued into 5.45. But okay, let's do Ishgard Restoration in the middle of this. Balmung is the first, and this is I hate this. This is recent events, very messy. Ishgard Restoration, Balmung is the first NA server to complete the firmament.
Hooray!
Congratulations, Balmung.
No one got Culinarian as a monument.
I will say that second part that I wrote is incorrect now. There is only one Japanese world that is not finished. Kujata.
How?
Pick it up, Kujata.
How the fuck is that even possible? They have less players than us.
I know. I said the same thing.
More servers. They have less people. Oh my god! I just remembered.
It's about.
Oh, that's gonna spin. That's gonna spin throughout this entire episode.
Stop looking at it.
Sorry.
Stop acknowledging the cup.
Sorry. Sorry. Yes, go on. What were you saying?
It's more. I was saying that it's their like group mentality, as opposed to the independence of the Western world servers. I say making sweeping judgments over all Japanese people
about an entire race of people.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Hey, I think the evidence speaks for itself.
I think we're just bad at video games here.
I mean, that's probably true when you compare savage clear rates for the Japanese servers compared to any English-speaking server.
I mean, I'm European. I only care about clothing in this game, so I don't know.
That's true.
That's a very old callback. I'd be very impressed.
That was a FanFest callback, wasn't it?
Yeah, like...
Hey, it's what is old is relevant again. It is almost pseudo FanFest time.
Yeah. I don't even know if it was FanFest. It was like Gamescom or something, and it was...
No, it was FanFest.
You sure?
Because
it was European FanFest, right?
It was the European Fan Fest because like they brought the battle content maker to America, and then they brought the gear designer to Europe because they like, that's what Europe is interested in.
Oh, okay, I see. All right. Moving on. This should have been a segue from the maintenance announcement. 5.45's website has been updated because we're getting a new patch. I guess we can take a look at what we're getting in this one. Nope, that is the meme. That's incorrect.
Do it. I believe in you.
Let's see. Why is it always like further away than I think? Oh, here we go.
For audio only listeners, it is a picture of Lakil's 1.0 character holding. I like that it has to say this is Lakil.
Yeah.
Holding a battery fresh, looking at a treant that has Chronicles of a Realm deadline across its face.
Yeah, being chased by the Chronicles of a Realm deadline. Do you like the effect of the fresh like coming out of the can? Like the yellow color.
I did not notice that.
Yeah,
why is it spraying away from me?
Yeah, because I'm trying to frantically drink it as well while I'm running. So it's like spurs. All right.
Is it actually like neon piss color?
It is kind of piss colored, yes.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's the website. This is so we'll start from the top. Delubrium Reginae, which is the new what is the Eureka version called?
Bosnia, Southern Front.
No.
Resistance weapons.
No.
No.
Chat. What is it called? The Eureka
Baldessian
one?
Arsenal.
Baldessian Arsenal. This is the
okay.
Baldessian Arsenal of Bosnia. Look at that.
It's got a robot man.
Yeah, he's probably using Ravana's.
You are probably correct there.
Yeah.
He looks like that one. That armor from Kingdom Hearts 2. What's his face?
The
Lingering Will.
The Lingering Will. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Chad is pointing out he's holding what looks like 2 dark relics.
Oh,
is he? Oh yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Beneath the where would you carry the other one? Like it's so big.
You put it on your like cross, like there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or you could just do like Merle Whip and just have it like disappear. Because. So it says beneath the wastes of the Bosnia citadel lie the ruins of Queen Gunhilda's kingdom. The temple at its heart, once a shining beacon of hope for Bosnia, now remains forever shrouded in darkness. And it is there the warrior of light must lay the queen's legacy to rest. So,
did you think that we would resolve this plot line this quickly?
There's got to be more to it next patch. So,
well, I have a feeling that
I don't think it'll be resolved. I think it'll make a lot of progress.
Yeah, the next part might be more dealing with. Well, it depends on how far they want to go with the Gabranth part of the story. Like that, there's like 2 storylines in this. There's the Gunhilda storyline, and then there's the Gabranth and that Legion storyline.
Yeah.
This might be the end of the Gunhilda storyline. I just would have
thought the Queen.
Don't know.
What the fuck does this mech got to do with anything?
Who knows?
It's glorious Bosnian
bug
ingenuity from the 3rd Astral Era.
Okay, moving on to Blue Mage. Patch 5.45 sees the level cap for Blue Mage raised to 70, as well as the introduction of all new Blue Mage job-specific quests and gear. Practitioners of the Cerulean Arts will also discover new spells to master, and find their Blue Mage logs updated with 4.x patch content. Being blue has never been so fun.
Any particular skills you guys looking forward to?
Well, something from Suzaku, apparently.
Yeah. That kick?
One in the background. They're using the kick in the background.
You're definitely getting the kick.
I guess something from your Jimbo is being... what is...
No, but that's not Yojimbo. I think that's for the Blue Mage story itself, because that ninja never appears in this arena.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought he was him. Oh, sorry, you can't see my cursor. I thought he was the Rogadin, but he's in the background, obviously. Yeah. All right. I see.
Yeah. So that's probably the next part that we're going to the Far East, because that's where level 70 stories happen.
Yeah. Also, Skysteel tools. As the firmament lays foundations for a new era in Ishgard, the time has come to present its sky builders with tools representing the pinnacle of Skysteel perfection. But what esoteric means must be employed to reach such daunting heights?
Who are these people?
These are the people in the Skysteel tool storyline. It's
There's a storyline for it? Okay.
Yes.
I'm not touching that shit. I'm just being honest.
There is.
How far into it are you, Lakil?
I have up to the current level on Miner and Weaver, I think. Yeah.
What is your opinion of the Skysteel Tools storyline?
I mean, it's not like calling it a storyline a bit much. It's. I mean, there is a story. It's what you'd expect from like a side, like a relic for content that not a lot of people maybe will do. Yeah, there is something there.
So
it's intriguing.
So you would say it's in second place behind the combat relic storyline for this expansion?
Oh yes, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that they don't even show what the weapons look like, or sorry, the tools.
No, it's a secret.
Yeah. I think that's that. Are there any new renders, maybe?
No, I don't believe so.
No. Well, there you go. That's what's to come in this patch. We'll just have to wait a couple of days, and then it's time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's the patch. Let's talk Yoshi-P. Gamer Escape has recently released an interview with Yoshi-P, and it's quite interesting. So I thought we should probably read through this and discuss what Yoshi-P is saying in this one, because there's specifically one thing that's really annoying that he says in this interview that we definitely have to mention. But yeah, okay, let's jump into this. It says the article contains spoilers for patch 5.3 and patch 5.4, but if you're watching this, you should definitely be done with both of those patches by now. All right. Patch 5.3 brought the conclusion of the main Shadowbringer story on the first, and we got a lot of great information thrown at us. Can you tell us how long ago some of these story elements had been planned? When did you come up with the idea of Azem? How early on did you know what would happen with the final confrontation with Elidibus? Yoshida says, this looks like one question, but really, you've intertwined quite a few questions together. First, to your question about Azem, as we're finalizing the main story for 5.0, we solidified the concept related to not just Azem, but also the full 14 seats of the convocation to a certain degree. However, in the case of Elidibus, we hadn't determined the flow of the story through the end of 5.3 until after the release of 5.0. While we had already decided that the battle with Elidibus would be at the end of patch 5.3, the finer details were only finalized during the production of patch 5.1. If memory serves, the idea of Azem came from the idea of, what if the player, the Warrior of Light, held a seat in the convocation? We started with that concept and went from there. Yeah, that's probably expected. That's makes sense.
These are things he talked about before, I think, with the planning being a bit later on for a little bit.
Yeah. You can feel that they didn't know what they were doing with Elidibus up through 5.3 until around about 5.3.
Yeah.
Which really bums me out, because I quite like Elidibus' story in 5.3. It's a shame we don't really get any dregs of that beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very out of nowhere almost.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But you know what? They showed that they can really accelerate Nassian's storyline with Eden this patch.
True. True. Patch 5.3 also gave us the next fight in the Sorrow of Warlit questline. This time, it wasn't a trial, but instead a solo instance where players piloted a mech. How did you come to the decision to have this solo fight instead of an 8-man trial? Might we see this type of gameplay come in future updates or other content? Yoshida says, we determined during the early stages of the 5.x series that we couldn't create a full-scale boss battle for that specific chapter of the Sorrow of Warlit questline, because we had already allocated our battle content resources to the Elidibus boss fight. The person handling the Sorrow of Warlit scenario then proposed the idea of repurposing the system we used to allow players to battle as an NPC character. For example, the Justinian battle content in patch 5.1 to create a battle with mechs. The battle content and graphics teams liked the idea, and we made it happen. Everyone likes mechs, after all, right? Especially Gundam. We're unsure. Yeah. We're unsure if the G Warrior will mobilize once more, so stay tuned for further updates. Of course it is. There's literally no way they're not going to reuse that.
Pose with it. How can you not use it again?
Right.
It's so they put so much effort into it.
Yeah.
It feel like a waste if it never appeared again.
Yeah.
Also, they allocated all their battle content resources to the Elidibus boss fight. They made both the Rathalos and Tsukiyomi fights in the 0.3 patch last time. So I want to know where those resources went.
Well, I wonder if that's because that was a crossover. So they were like, oh no, bad timing. Yeah.
I remember there's also a Hildebrand trial that was made during 4.5, so they can make at least 2 trials per patch.
Yeah, that's true.
Not regularly, but they can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, we have less dungeons this expansion.
Don't mention it. It makes me sad. Okay, right. With the inclusion of the Bosnian Southern Front, we got access to Castrum Lacus Littori. The Save the Queen story requires players to complete the assault on the Castrum in order to move forward with the questline. However, some players have stated that they're finding it difficult to find instances of the area where there are enough people willing to do the content. Do you have any plans to address this? I guess right now it must be really difficult. Maybe not. I'm assuming now in the last few days before the patch when people realize that they might want to be level rank. No, do you get any medal for this?
You get no metal from the Castrum, so people that want metal will only be doing critical engagements, whereas people that have not completed the storyline are just kind of out of luck for the moment.
Oof.
Except for the other people that also are trying to do it.
That's
unfortunate.
Rollo?
Yeah, go on, Rollo.
Should have been there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what they want. It's like you should have been there in the first week, baby.
I'm assuming activity is going to pick up a little bit now because people will just be in Bosnia, I guess, now. So they'll be like, why not? Why not do Castrum? Right. Currently, with the release of patch 5.4, many players are tackling the new content and running the Savage Tears of Eden's Promise. I am aware that there are not as many people running Castrum Lacus Littori as players might hope for. With patch 5.45, we'll be implementing Delubrum Regine. Delubrum, how do we pronounce this? Delubrum?
I would say Delubrum, but I'm not 100% sure.
Delubrum Regine, and its higher difficulty Savage version. So we're anticipating this will bring more people to the Bosnian Southern Front to address the situation. We also plan to have system updates to this content on top of adjusting the rewards to match these changes, so we appreciate your patience in the meantime as we work to adjust things.
I hope one of those reward changes is the Castrum... What's it called?
Lacus Littori?
Thank you. Castrum Lacus Littori gives metal.
Yes. Yes. It is odd that it doesn't. It's like you're doing... I mean, you even get tomes for doing Savage, even though that's not why you're there. But you kind of just do. Yeah.
With patch 5.2 and now, imagine if they just remove. I wonder if there would be any outrage if they're like, from now on, Savage will no longer yield elegant tomestones.
How am I going to cap every week? Once a week, but fuck you.
Yeah. I need those 20 tomes every time.
Have we talked much about how the regular difficulty version has 24 people and the higher difficulty has 48?
No. I guess we have.
It's so interesting because it was so hard to coordinate with 56 people beforehand, unless you were part of one of the Discords.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the idea of the higher difficulty one having more people, but it's just, I feel like it's a higher barrier to entry for some people.
True. I wonder how they'll solve this, or if it'll work. But it's definitely gonna. It's gonna be Discord based again, isn't it? For at least for the higher difficulty one.
Oh yeah, probably. So join Crystal Hunts DC or wherever you guys decide to organize, and you'll see me there. Maybe, I don't know.
You will not see me there. You'll not see me anywhere.
Crystal, stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't be on Chaos either.
Do you think the 24 men will go in the raid roulette at some point? The Alliance raid roulette at some point?
Ooh.
Because it does not have role requirements.
No, I feel like it's gonna be just as like detached as Valdesian Arsenal and the Savage mode or whatever they call it, the hard mode. But yeah, and I think maybe because of it sounds like Spaghetti Spaghetti would not be able to deal with an alliance raid without role requirements.
I agree because of the fact that but then again I was thinking because the Frontlines one doesn't have role requirements, but that's a different.
But that's for all of them. Yeah.
But I was also thinking, I think we might already have the answer considering the fact they had to change the role requirements for Labyrinth of the Ancients before they added it to the roulette.
Yeah.
Plus, it would have to. There'd be specific gear for it too. So if you just queued up for it, you didn't have
Oh yeah, true.
Gear, you'd be like, what the fuck am I doing in here? I don't have my haste.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I'm looking forward to it being dead content in 2 years' time. Remember when it was almost impossible to get into Crystal Tower before the roulette?
Yes.
Better, get it while it's hot.
Yeah,
you should have
exactly.
Say.
I mean, how easy is it to get into the Valdesian Arsenal right now?
If in a Discord, apparently it's pretty easy.
I always hear that answer, but is it really?
I don't know. I don't want to go
because that's. I might be on one of those because we were supposed to go in there at some point, but then it was only me and Rollo, and then.
Why don't you two do it?
No.
You don't need Mailer and I.
No, but then
Eureka sucks.
By the time Rollo and I had made it to endgame, it was sort of old and new content was coming out, and I didn't want to just move and do.
We got there on time. We got there when it was relevant.
We got there relatively.
I think we just got burnt out.
Yeah, I think so. So I guess. I mean, if you know where to look, you'll find it. What?
Eureka drove Rollo to drinking.
That's true. That's true.
So much Caribbean rum.
Yeah, was rum. I know people saying if you know where to look, then yes, sure. But I mean, for the average Joe, it would have been. It's not like queuing up for a roulette. You need to go into those specific communities and find it.
I don't even think you'd find Party Finder for it these days.
Well, apparently, Party Finders on Ragnarok most Fridays, if we're to believe AJ. But
there are Party Finders. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Okay. With patch 5.2 and now 5.4, it was very surprising but welcome to see quests related to the Alliance raid, Yoraha Dark Apocalypse. What was the thinking to include quests for that content on a patch that didn't include a new Alliance raid? Yoshida says this was Yokotaro's idea. Instead of having a lull between major patch updates, he requested we include some kind of story development, even if there wasn't new raid content. I'm sure the content in 5.4 was quite shocking, but I think how patch 5.5 pans out will surprise you even further. You might want to brace yourselves ahead of time. So first of all, it is clever. I do like that he's like keeping, because usually when we have like in the old days, you'd have one patch in between, and you'd kind of forget what the alliance raid was even about. But this is like keeping it somewhat fresh. Patch 5.5 will surprise. Yeah, go on, Rolla.
I was saying it was very. I always like dumped a lot of shit on you when you would come back.
Yes.
Like especially with release, it was like,
yeah.
These quests.
Evilise
Okay.
was actually like the worst because that was so much lore.
It was.
Yeah.
And they were like, and they
done...
didn't really recap. So they're like, aha, yes, it's been 5 minutes. Let's continue this conversation we had in reality 6 months ago. Yeah, go on, Georgi.
If you could have done that wine quest line during 4.2, I think a lot of people would have been way less angry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh god, that was such a kick in the face. Forgot about that.
You had to do like 5 quests to get to the Alliance raid to get to Ridorana Lighthouse.
Yeah.
And then they make fun of you for it at the end.
Yes.
Yes.
You're like, stupid. You did the stupid wine quest, you fucking idiot. You want to do it again?
Yep.
Something that people forget, I don't know if people forget about this, but that it was underrated, is that the Yorha raid is set up in 5.0. The quest line actually was doable and was doable in 5.0.
Oh yeah,
Was it a marked quest?
You're right.
It wasn't listed as unlocking something because it didn't unlock anything back then. But you were introduced to Anog and Konog before
true
the raids start, and it feels kind of weird because like there's more cutscenes to it, and it feels like there's more interaction to it than the other quests.
Yeah,
but like it's not 100% apparent back then.
Right. Okay. Typically, the 8-man raids culminate with battles against well-known Final Fantasy characters or enemies. We've had Bahamut, Alexander, and Omega in previous expansions, but with Eden's Promise, this pattern was broken in lieu of something entirely new. Can you talk about what went into the creation of that final boss and the decision to take this path? Yoshida says, what you've said about the well-known Final Fantasy characters or enemies is true when you put it that way. Early on in the Eden Raid series planning process, we received feedback from the teams regarding the predictability of bosses. Someone pointed out that players will likely guess Eden itself will be the 3rd or 4th boss in the final installment, and that it would be Eden Prime. We wanted to subvert that expectation to avoid things getting boring. To that end, we established the Eden that exists in the first as the pillar of the narrative and told a story of light and darkness. Kingdom Hearts. That's also why we deliberately put Eden as the boss of the first turn of the raid. I think by doing this, we made it harder for players to predict future raids. So I'm glad we went in this direction, and I'm excited to see players' predictions for future raids. Yeah, that's true. Made it significantly more difficult to like guess the next boss.
The last boss sucked. I'm sorry.
I don't think anyone predicted Eden's Promise.
No.
And of course, normal mode is significantly worse than Savage mode of the final boss, because we literally never see the second phase of that boss fight. Yeah, I mean, I liked that we didn't know what we were getting, though. I remember when Eden first came out, it was like, oh, it's 8, so it's gonna be 8 bosses, and then we start with Eden, and I was like, oh, what is this? And then Kingdom Hearts. No, wait, what was the second one?
It was just fighting primals.
Oh yeah, that was when we fought. Yes, who was the first two?
No, the first one was Eden. Second one was the guy.
Yeah. That's like the Kingdom Hearts looking fight. And then we had the 2 primals. So it was very mixed. It was very unusual. Yeah. I just want to point out, Huvak, you're saying that Eden, the last boss, has breasts. Let me just say this right now. If you didn't watch a couple of episodes back, those be bull testicles. At the end of patch 5.4, we have some changes to some of the zones with these mysterious towers. This made us think about things like the building up of locations like Mordona, Idleshire, and Ishgardian Restoration, and now things like Unreal Trials that change with each patch. What are your thoughts from a development perspective and a player perspective regarding limited time content that, depending on whether a person plays the game during a certain period of time, could be missed? Yoshida says, well, this, again, Unreal is bullshit. Why are they removing them from circulation? What is the point? I am so scared that they're going to be like, they'll do like, let's say 10 primals, and then they'll start from the beginning again. And they'll just keep that roster.
They can do that, because in 10 patches time, it'll be level 90. So
true.
Whole new moveset.
True. Okay. I feel that with any online game, including MMORPGs, no two people will experience an event the exact same way or have the same exact gameplay experience, regardless of there being an update or not. A player's experience will always be serendipitous, because online games center on experiences created by connections between people. Seemingly static content really isn't static at all, but even so, I feel it's important to inject some surprises into our everyday experiences, or else people might start to feel bored. I believe our mission and our job is to constantly deliver new gameplay experiences. I think that as long as the ideas brought to the table are enjoyable, it isn't a detriment to the experience, even if they're hypothetically only available to players for a limited amount of time. People who come to play at a later time may not get to savor that particular piece of content, but we're constantly introducing new and fun things to the game. So all we can do is continue working hard so players can be satisfied with the content available. That being said, I'd like for you to find out on your own if those towers really are for a limited time only or not.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you to tell us in this interview.
Why did you say that, Yoshi-P? He didn't even ask any... Interesting. And I'm so sad that he didn't ask any follow-up questions to that. I would have loved...
I think this was an email interview.
Oh, yes. So the answers are just... Oh, I see. Okay. What does it mean? Okay.
I mean, that's the entire crux of the next patch, I feel like.
Yeah.
Finding out the mystery of the towers.
Yeah.
A new limited job.
Hmm?
That's what it means. Limited job. That's my prediction.
What job?
Tower. Watch. Tower. Tower.
I don't know why that's so funny. It was just so stupid. I love that you so clearly had like nothing to like follow up with that. Introducing new limited job, Tower. That's good. Yes. I forgot that we have towers. I forgot. It's been so long. Yeah. It's been 84 years. Yeah. I mean, they imply that there might be more, but we can see 6 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now for the part that's controversial, or actually, I would say, well, we'll see. We'll get to
it. Funny.
Yeah. In February, you'll be hosting the Final Fantasy XIV showcase, and of course, we're expecting something special. Given that FanFest was not able to happen, should we expect something similar to that in terms of announcements? Might we see 3 FanFests worth of new information, or might we see things a bit more spread out? Additionally, how many shirts can we expect you to wear? Yoshida says, shirts. Come to think of it, I don't think I wore very many t-shirts this year. Okay.
I mean, I can understand that.
The announcement showcase is meant to be a platform for a large announcement. So feel free to have high expectations.
The subreddit,
So
the subreddit exploded over that.
So, I mean, if you didn't think that there was going to be an expansion announcement, well, here you go. I mean, this must be the final confirmation. Although we will be revealing a significant amount of info. What if... Okay. I don't want to be Nostradamus here. But what if he's like... He comes on stage and it's like... I'm Naoki Yoshida. Today we are announcing end of service for Final Fantasy XIV coming the end of 2022.
The thing they actually did?
No. Oh god, you're right. That is like
FF15. They're like special announcement.
I thought that was what the joke was.
Yeah, it was the joke, but I forgot like how, because it was the same sort of build up, because remember they had like, wasn't it like 4 DLCs or whatever that they were waiting for? And it was
3 DLC at that
3.
point.
Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, there's a big announcement coming." And they're like, "Actually, it's over.
An art book.
You'll get an art book. Goodbye." Yes. Although we will be revealing a significant amount of information at the announcement showcase, we do have a digital fanfest planned in May, where we'll have even more information to announce. That one I'm a little more intrigued by. I wonder if that's how they're gonna do that. Oh god, please. I'm so done with like this the thing that we're in, this pandemic, has led to some of the worst cringe on television and online. I hate when they're like, sorry, but I just don't want FanFest to be like, "Oh, here's Naoki Yoshida," and then you have like little screens with people on Zoom going, "Woo, woo, woo, woo," and like a camera flickering on and off, like.
What if it was us? It could be like, and hello from various places on Earth, speakers.
Yeah, but the audio is always like this. I'm very glad to be here, everyone. I love. It's so good to be. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
That's
Great.
always the audio. And they're like, oh shit. And they're always like, oh, I think we have some audio problems with you. Can you fix your audio? What? You say? What? I hate that so much. If you have the cringe audience, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them.
No. We could be the cringe audience. That could be us.
I don't want it.
I don't think it would be us.
No.
If we believe hard enough, we can be cringe.
I have a feeling
it
would be Japanese.
We could
if they
speak
had
it.
cringe audience.
It's a fan. Yeah, that's true. But it is a fan fest, so it is like international.
Yeah, brush up on your Japanese.
Always have English.
Tori. Inu.
We're never getting that spot.
All right. So fan festival. I'm assuming maybe we'll. What do you think that's going to be like? Because they've already blown most of their load. Well, the initial load in next week.
Are you sure about that?
Well, dropping the expansion is a pretty big load, but I'm sure.
Yeah, but they do that FanFest, and they still have 2 FanFest worth of content anyway.
But we're only getting 1 FanFest, so there's going to be like, I guess, half a load.
I think it's going to be. I don't like that. I think that rather than split all their announcements into 3, they're going to split them into 2 this time.
Yeah. So there's going to be, but he says specifically a fan fest, so there's going to be more. So what separates that from this?
All your fantasies will come true in this announcement.
Oh,
everything you ever wanted in 14 will be there.
Well, I think this one's going to purely be about the expansion. At FanFest, they have things like Q&As and
it's going to be
live
like
concerts.
Welcome to Naoki's room or whatever that they usually have, where he has like a guest on. Okay, now for the controversial bit. This is fucking bullshit. In any case, I didn't realize my t-shirts were a topic of discussion for players. Guess I should start thinking about my wardrobe early. You're lying.
Sam Raimi, Samurai.
Sam Raimi one. I love the Sam Raimi one.
worst fucking pull I've ever seen.
Yeah. I
I
remember
just
that.
love that it happened and people guessed it.
Yes. And I remember when it was being guessed, and I'm like, that is so stupid. That cannot be true. We even said it on this podcast. Like, that is the running theory right now. I don't want to believe this. And then it was true. Awful. Truly awful.
I
Oh.
want to see how esoteric we can get.
Well,
Emery.
I'm still holding out. So this is probably one of the last chances we have at guessing the jobs.
What's going to happen?
Yeah. The jobs, location.
Do you think they'll drop both jobs?
No. They'll do one now and one in the other one. Because they split it into it's perfect now.
Yeah.
They can do
And
one
people
now.
still go crazy about job reveals in this game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What I wonder though is whether or not we're what they're gonna show, because we're not getting a new race, I think. So
Maybe they'll have some like new feature, I guess.
Do you
Some new kind of
think
battle
they'll
content.
reveal-
yeah.
Mm,
Do you think they'll reveal what?
do you think we are getting male Vieira and female
No.
Rockstar?
No.
I mean, like,
You're completely out on it at this point.
Yeah.
they did say no new races, but
We talked about this like when we got Rothgar and Vieira, that they said that there was going to be no new race, and technically that wouldn't be a new race. But considering the headache they're having with the two races they implemented, with like not being able to wear hats and like there's stuff they like their extra work, do you think they want to expand it at this point?
Consider, like, remember how much feedback they got on the official forum about these things.
I know. I just don't want to do this again.
No, he said, "Oh, we can have big hype." He said we can.
Yeah.
He did. He said we can have high expectations.
He explicitly gave us permission to perpetuate this theory.
Yeah.
So male Vieira, female Rothgar,
No. Yoshi-P has at no point mentioned anything about Vieira or Rothgar.
No, but he said high expectations.
Okay,
That
so
gives us
if
free
you
rein to think whatever we want.
if you are hyped for this, it is your fault if you get disappointed during this.
It's his fault. He said we can have high expectations.
Yeah, but you're making shit up that's like not possible, probably.
Not possible is not the word I would use.
Well, we've been through a pandemic. Do you think they had time to like work on races as well during this?
I mean, if they have time for an expansion, they have time for a race, right?
Well, it depends on when we get the expansion, to be fair, but yeah.
I would find it very funny if we just get female Hrothgar.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, strike down the male Vieira.
I would be sad, but I think I would be more. I think it. Me apparently.
Yeah.
So I would be more. I would find it funnier than I would find it sad.
Yeah.
If they did just reveal only.
But now we are.
Hrothgar.
See what we're doing now? Remember, we have a voice, and we are doing this now, apparently. This is not what we should be doing. We should not be sowing the seeds for. We are not sowing the seeds for male Vieira and Rothgar. That is not. This will ruin some people's expectations for this announcement.
See, the thing is, people already want these things. I don't think us voicing them is going to make.
Why is this the thing people want now?
I mean, what? It's weird.
The kill.
What? It's what? Because I'm horny. I want this.
They wanted it. They wanted it at the start of the expansion, and they still want it now.
But
The
they didn't
fervor
get it.
has loud. Yep. So it doesn't mean they don't want it now. Just because you don't get something one time doesn't mean maybe I can't get it next time. That's how the lottery works.
I find it very unlikely. But sure, if that happens, good on you guys. You can play Bunnyman and Lion Woman. What do you think about jobs, which is more likely to be announced during this, not whatever this was? I still hold out for chemist.
I'm thinking
love.
they're going to go with apothecary if they use the term if they use in-game terminology.
Yeah, but it'll be a chemist. at core.
It will be a chemist, but imagine if it's just all plant-based, rather than like. I think they're definitely going to call it. If there is a chemist type job, they'll call it apothecary. They've set that up, and I think they don't want it to sound too similar to alchemist.
Well, what? Yeah.
I don't know what another DPS could be though. Aside from maybe like Beastmaster, but that's always, I feel like it's kind of been leaning towards a limited job already.
Yeah.
And we already talked about same thing with like, I guess puppeteer.
Oh,
Same.
puppeteer.
He said puppeteer himself.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But he said puppeteer when he was teasing limited jobs.
I want to just say that in terms of like chemist, I think that would be easier to sell than apothecary, which sounds boring and difficult to say. Like, imagine like trying to sell that. Like, Final Fantasy XIV, play as Geomancer or apothecary. Like, I don't know. Chemist sounds cool. I see Geomancer in chat as well, which is.
Apothecary is a class in Fire Emblem, and I thought it was cool then.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I just don't think that chemist does not sound that exciting to me. Like the terminology of chemist. Like, it has history in the Final Fantasy franchise, but
yes.
chemist is the same as saying pharmacist in some countries.
Yeah, but apothecary is the same as saying that here. We call it apotek in Norwegian, yeah. And
really?
Yes. So
apothecary sounds so archaic to me.
It sounds archaic.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
Apothecary?
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's
I'm European.
Archaic term.
We're old up here. Yeah. All right. So yeah, chemist and
Just call it doctor.
chirurgeon. That's oh god.
No,
try selling that.
I don't want chirurgeon. I like the idea of doctor because it makes it seem more special than chirurgeon. Because like anyone can be a chirurgeon.
Yeah.
But you could become a doctor.
True.
If you can't make your doctor dreams real in real life, become one in Final Fantasy 14.
You know what? Mime. I know we joked about it, but it's a real Final Fantasy job.
It is.
Any other job.
But I feel like mine would be a tank.
Why? Did you like place the walls for your tank?
Oh my god, but they would have to make it really fast because of like animation locks. It'll be like
what would your weapon be?
I don't know. That'd be funny. I'd love that. I think Geomancer, as like chat is, a lot of people are saying Geomancer, and I think logically it's the one job that we don't have that's been mentioned a lot in game. Like,
it already exists in game.
Yeah, it's a thing that is a thing. So I can see
the
that.
The problem we have with Geomancer is that functionally in game, all Geomancers work very similarly to just conjurers or white mages with different names for their spells.
Yeah.
They do have unique weapons at least, but it's not. I don't know.
Wait,
are we getting 2 healers this expansion, maybe? Or
no.
What does the Geomancer? What does the Geomancer use in 14 again? What is their weapon?
Chime.
Oh, they use the bell.
Is it? I don't know. It's something weird, but it's definitely like a unique model that you don't have a job having, or any other NPC really.
They just used a cane in the quests. Oh, but like in Final Fantasy, it's always been like a bell. At least in 11, they used a bell.
I can see Geomancer just because they're pulling all the elements out of White Mage, and they're like, now you can use the Geomancer. White Mage is all about the lights now.
Yes. Oh my god, that'll be
so
sad.
To be fair, I think it wouldn't be unprecedented because they've done something similar where you saw ninjas in like the Crystal Tower, and they use fucking monk animations.
Yeah.
Those are monks, not ninjas.
That's true.
And ninja comes out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true, AJ. Geomancers use a bell in Swallow's Compass. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there we. I think that, and also the story-wise, I don't know. We've talked about that many times before, but since this is our last chance to say anything, do you wanna lock anything in?
Yeah, let's lock something. I think we'll all agree on Chemist because that's a community favorite.
I think Chemist is a safe bet here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What about the DPS? Because I definitely think we're getting a DPS. I doubt we're not getting another tank.
No.
I like the idea of Judge, whatever the fuck that could possibly be. That'd be a 14 job if we're doing the Gunbreaker thing again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about Corsair?
It already sounds too similar to stuff we have.
An RNG
Mm-hmm.
DPS.
I know they don't want to add another RNG thing. That's why they took all the RNG out of Astrologian, or as much as they could.
Yeah.
But Gambler would be cool though. I want to see like
I've always advocated for like Gambler, but I sort of gave up on that dream when we got Machinist. I wanted Musketeer or I wanted Musketeer to be Corsair. But then that didn't happen, so I gave up on that dream. Why are you're firing up my Corsair dream? That's been dormant for so long. I don't really see why it would appear in this expansion, but hey, I love Corsair. I have no reason to lock that in though, because I have nothing's indicating a Corsair for me right now. Be weird. Like where would they come from? We don't even learn anything about Corsair. Maybe my dream is true, and it is the Musketeer Guild that's like developed a job, like an advanced Musketeer, the Corsair. Because Corsair, I believe, is also pirate themed, right? So it makes sense. But then it would be in Limsa.
Well, it has to be in a zone that we already have access to.
That's true.
Because they don't like locking jobs behind other locations anymore.
I'm trying to think of something at least like kind of niche, maybe like Valkyrie. Isn't that's one that's been in some jobs already, right? No, that's a Bravely Default job.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah.
Could there so the current theories as to where we're going seem to be for the main city state from what I've been seeing mainly seem to be focusing on Charlayan and Thavnir. Are there any specific things that you could see coming from Charlayan or Thavnir that would inspire the jobs?
Arithmetician.
Yes.
I like that.
Again, I feel like
it's actually having to do math.
Yeah, I feel like that one's again going to be a little difficult to sell, kind of like with Apothecary. It's in the same lane, but well, it's difficult because they're not really a fighting folk up in Charlayan. They're pacifist. So
no, but they have some offensive capabilities. Like,
do they?
Yeah,
other
absolutely.
than like magics.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a magic DPS.
I mean, Astrologian comes from Charlayan.
Yeah,
that's true. But the version
and I guess
of Astrologian we use.
Academician arguably comes from Charlayan.
True. Oh yeah, that's true. They were at some point, because remember the people that founded Limsa were Charlayan. Technically, they came from Charlayan. So
were they Charlayan? I think they were just like from the north. I don't think they were Charlayan. I think they were just from.
Oh God, I might be mixing this up. They're from like that area of Charlayan at least. Oh no, they're from like very high up in the north.
Yeah.
Airsland, that's the one I'm thinking about. I don't know. I don't know what they do up there. We know very little about like stuff like that in Charlayan. They do read books.
They keep their secrets.
Yes.
It's going to be something field, I feel like.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You always do like the one you want, and then something,
Yeah.
at least so far.
Yeah.
To expand.
Thavnair, we've already technically gotten a job from already.
Yes, we do. We have the answer.
Yeah. We are also potentially going into Ilsabard. Not necessarily Garlemald, but at least Ilsabard. So the jobs could come from there as well.
I feel like we've got Gunbreaker from Ilsabard already.
Well, yeah, but Ilsabard is a big fucking continent. Depends. I mean, we have not received. We don't have a job from the Dalmascan side, do we?
No, I don't think so. Dalmasca could be another location where we could take inspiration from.
Yeah. Chemist could be. I mean, Chemist is Evilisian, isn't it? You can be Chemist in Evilise games, can't you?
That's the tactics job.
Yeah. I don't. The DPS one is. I'm not sure about the DPS. It could be Geomancer. I mean, it could be anything.
There's normally teasers for them in game at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know what
it's happening.
We did spend some time in Limsa recently. We
that's for Corsair.
That would be so random if it's like, aha, that's why we went to Limsa, just so like you would have that, you'd be familiar with Limsa. Ah, Corsair. I don't know. Maybe. I want it to be Corsair, but I think Geomancer is more likely at this point. But
as a DPS,
simply, yeah.
Because Geomancer plays as a healer in game already.
We've changed roles for classes before.
Can you give me an example?
No.
Dark Knight is one.
Dark Knight. There you go.
Yeah, but Dark Knight didn't exist in the game beforehand.
Well, I mean, they don't have. I mean, I don't know. Do they say, "Oh, this is a healer for Geomancer"?
Sort of.
Well, they sort of, but that gives them leeway to change it, so it can have healing capabilities, like an Arcanist.
I agree with you, but I don't remember the exact. I don't remember the exact like terminology they used.
Red Mage can heal, and they can even race. So changing it like that shouldn't be too difficult. Yeah. Okay. I am gonna say Geomancer and slash. I want to have 2.
Okay.
I'm doing something stupid. I'm gonna go Sky Pirate and that's a job. That is a real job.
Yeah.
It
just sounds very generic, but
it does.
Interesting.
Just turn it.
So.
What did you say, Gergi?
I wouldn't mind if they just turned into pirate.
Yeah.
Sky Pirate's very specific.
But then you're like, that's just what Laminsons are. It's difficult. I feel my DPS compass is off. I can't tell where we're going.
What about Magic Technician?
Ooh. That would be cool.
I like that you said "ooh" just because the name is interesting.
Yeah. I always think about like how, because they need to sell it. So
that's a job though, and that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Just let me use a wrench as a weapon, please.
You can't. Machinist.
That's not your weapon. It's just a tool.
Oh, you actually can't use it as a weapon anymore. They took that out.
Oh, well, there you go. Right. I'm just gonna say it's boring to say just Geomancer.
I'm gonna say Musketeer / Corsair.
You're not even gonna go for Chemist.
No.
Chemist is already locked in.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
locked in.
This is just
All right.
DPS.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Geomancer. You're putting me off. You've put me off with the Corsair thing. I don't know where that came from.
I don't think necromancy is happening. I think we got that. I think the 3 jobs we got in the Hero's Gauntlet are just were included because we can't have them in game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a hint.
I would be annoyed if they only made one of them real.
I'll go Geomancer / Corsair just because I want Corsair to be true, but it's I don't know. That's very left field, but yeah. Rollo?
Yeah.
What did you say? You went for Sky Pirate. That's still your final answer. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah. No, it could happen.
It could be anything. Yeah. I have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah. All right. That's our prediction. No way. We can't take this back now. That is the Speakers of Eidolon. Wait, we didn't. Do you think we're gonna get an Eorzea centric expansion, or are we going to a completely new place?
So this is this is another thing I've been seeing people talking about, like the idea that like instead of going into Ilsabard, we just explore areas near the towers that already exist.
Yeah.
So like for the one in Southern Thanaland, maybe that will be Pagelthan. Maybe for the one that's in the Shroud, maybe we'll finally get West Shroud.
Yeah.
For the one that's in Kurthus, maybe we'll get one of the Kurthus areas that we don't have yet that I don't remember the names of.
Yeah.
Lowland, right?
Sure.
It's in the west. But we already have the Kurthus Western Highlands.
So the Western Lowlands.
Maybe they'll make up. Does that exist in 1.0?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe we'll get the Kurthus Western Lowlands.
Is it Western Lowlands or is it the...
That was the Eastern Lowlands.
Is it?
No, there's definitely the place that connects to Mordona in 1.0. Yeah, I think Western No, maybe there wasn't a Western Lowlands. No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Maybe they'll just make it the Kurthus Central Lowlands.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what
existed,
it is.
Didn't it?
Central Lowlands is what I was thinking about. Yes.
If they do that, I feel like 50-50 of like, here's half the new stuff and then here's some old areas. Like this is also 3 Ilsabard zones and 3 bringing back zones, 3 throwbacks.
I never thought I'd want an expansion that's like in Eorzea, but here we are. I kind of want that because I feel like our world can be fleshed out a lot more.
We have the games, it's very, very condensed.
Yeah.
So there's
Southern Mordona, restore more donuts. I mean, that'd be a dream. And also, Mordona is so intriguing because when you go look at that map, usually when a map ends, it ends, right? But Mordona has kept the entire length of its actual size, and it's even like outlined a little bit in the map. So I feel like that's very likely to happen. And again, with the theory that the sound underneath Silvertear is going to play a big part in the end of this game's storyline, kind of makes sense. But yeah. Oh, is that a thing I want to lock in? That theory that's going to be a part of the story? It's too soon, isn't it? For the expansion, or no, wait, this should be the expansion to end that storyline.
Yeah, I feel like it would be, unless it's like even bigger than Zodiac and Eidolon, and then that's the next thing we need to worry about. But I definitely can see it being related because I feel like it was connected to it as a result of the Amoritane story.
Yeah. I'm not going to lock it in, but I'll leave it hanging. Like that's a possibility that we're going to be looking at Mordona. If Mordona is in that trailer that we'll see during the announcement, there'll be no doubt then. All right, maybe the moon as well. Yeah, this might be the moon expansion. Yoshi-P talks about the moon a lot, and
I would love the moon to be the secret final zone.
Yes.
Kind of like the Tempest.
Yes.
The Tempest,
yeah,
but not the Lux. The Lux was revealed pre-expansion.
Yeah. Okay. We have to jump into Mogmail now. This is touching on the subject that we discussed last week about giving advice in dungeons. Let's jump into Mogmail. This was from Miles Sainsborough from Balmung. Listening to your talk about healer DPS in episode 230 got me thinking of a similar situation regarding DPS limit breaks. While most people accept that casters or ranged DPS should use limit breaks on trash mobs to speed up the run in the dungeon, there are also people who are heavily against it, and are likely the same people that use the limit break when the boss has only 5% HP remaining.
The second group is more common.
Yeah. I once had endured ridicule from a healer and a tank because I, as a caster, used our limit break on some trash mobs, with their main complaint that not having a limit break ready for a boss would make the fight take longer. However, the total time spent in the dungeon would have been the same, whether we killed the trash faster or killed the boss faster with limit breaks. It also seems like not many people know that using a limit break sooner before reaching the boss means more time for the limit gauge to refill and possibly filling out during the boss fight. What are your views on the usage of limit breaks in a dungeon? I think that's really a really good question, because limit breaks is like this unspoken mechanic that, you know, it's kind of, you use it only when you know it's safe to use it. You're not going to get any they're not going to get angry at you for using it. But I agree. The people that are gatekeeping limit breaks for bosses only are stupid. The sooner you can use the limit break, you should. Even if you're if you're pulling mobs and you have a limit break bar, use it. Delete those mobs. It's not like you have one limit break per dungeon. That will refill.
Even you know what? Even in raids too, like 24 man, you should use it, because if you do the ranged one before the fight, like that's free damage.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people do that one. That's kind of like a common thing. But
yeah.
Do it. Hit it. Don't wait till the last 5%. That's stupid.
Yeah. Yes. As a healer, I don't really often think about the limit break usage, but yeah, it is. It's literally free DPS. It'll get you through faster, and it constantly recharges. So,
as a melee DPS, which I have been leveling recently, I do try and do, at least once we get to the final boss, I'll try and do the limit break around 15 to 10%. And like, you get the full effect of the limit break. It's a little disappointing when it doesn't die.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Obviously, if you are a melee DPS, you shouldn't be using the limit break on trash mobs, because that's just one. That's one mob. That's for casters. Yeah.
It's a shame. Range physical limit break isn't really that good.
No.
It does the least amount of damage. I mean, it has the most range, but you don't need range that often, I feel like, compared to when you AoE damage or single target.
One of the few times that I think the range one is good is when you have limit break left over after the first boss in World of Darkness, and you use it on the second set of portals, because I believe caster limit break can't hit all three, but I might be mistaken about that.
Right. Yeah. And obviously goes without saying, as a healer, don't use that limit break ever.
Yeah, no, hit that level 2 limit break, please. I want to see it. I've never seen the animation very, very not often.
I mean, never as a healer, never use hit limit break in dungeons.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I just specified in dungeons, because you only get 2 bars.
Don't be afraid to use it when like half your party is dead in a alliance raid.
Oh, please! If you don't, you're gonna get so much aggression aimed towards you.
Do remember though that there is a range to it.
Yes. if you're like on this end of the arena and everyone's on the other side, don't do that. That is very sad, because it's such an impressive AoE and like no one is raised.
Like because it can happen in even really small like arenas. Like I remember back in the Omega fights, it happened a couple times to me where the healer was just at the very end of the stage. Everyone died in the front, and it was just like,
yeah.
Okay, well now,
Yeah.
oh, thanks.
True. Yeah.
From a healer that doesn't limit break 3 is, I wasn't looking at chat.
Were you not looking at everyone dead?
Yeah, I wasn't looking at chat. I also wasn't looking at the game, apparently. Yeah. Right.
If you limit break as red mage, though, fuck you. I hate you so much. You make my life miserable.
I love using limit break 3
We've wiped because of red mage limit breaks because we can't see the AoEs.
It is guaranteed someone will eat an AoE on most fights with the red mage limit break. In fact, you can fuck up entire mechanics for the entire party.
Yep.
If you time it right. I won't say which fights because then you'll do it. And I'll be upset.
Yeah. It's that one sucks.
You should definitely do red mage limit break in limit break 3 in E11.
No.
Why are you saying this?
Because it's funny.
Cruel. It's not funny. All right. That's that. Thank you, Miles. Thank you to everyone who is sending in Mogmail. If you can do it, speakersxiv.com/Mogmail. Remember to back up your question in case it doesn't go through the first time. That's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersXIV, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, ! Discord in chat if you want to join our Discord server. If you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Stay tuned for the post show if you're watching live. If not, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Stay.